guys, my name is Logan, I'm with the Never Ready Gamers, and I'm here on Digital Break again to show you a thing. Now, that thing is sitting right behind me, and that thing is Zombicide Invader. Now, Zombicide Invader is brought to you by the same people, cool mini or not. They brought you the other Zombicide games, all of them. That is to include Zombicide 1, 2, and 3, the first 3 seasons, Black Plague, and Green Horde. Now, they knocked it out of the park, in my opinion, with Green Horde and Black Plague. Really enjoyed those. I'm not a big sci-fi fan, but I'm a big Cool Mini or Not fan, and I'm also a Zombicide fan. So I kickstarted it. I got a bunch of stuff in it. It came in 2 different boxes on 2 different days, mind you, but it's here, and I'm gonna stop. I'm gonna stop complaining about it, but whatever. So I wanted to show you what was in the base box so you can see what you're gonna get in the retail version and give you my first impressions, tell you what I think about it, stuff like that. With that being said, thanks for coming to see me, and let's jump into the video. Hey, so I goofed on an aspect ratio sort of thing, and the audio was terrible for the video that I've already rendered, so I'm reshooting this part of the video. But the good news is I get to experiment on video and audio editing, so yeah, score. Anyways, I put everything back in the way it's supposed to be, so we're gonna go through it. Here is Zombicide. First, you'll be greeted by this very large box with large friendly letters that say Panic. Now, you are greeted with mold tokens. Now, these will be very important during the game. It's one of the prime mechanics of the game, mold zombies. So obviously, you're gonna have fun. Like, these are gonna be your friends, right? Yeah, no, that's not exactly what's going on. Here's your rulebook. Stock standard rulebook. It's pretty thick, beefy bugger. Like, it's got some heft to it. Again, it's a Zombicide, so a lot of this is going to be very familiar. On the back, you have target priority, you have game summary, so a lot of this isn't going to be difficult. You'll know pretty well where you are in Zombicide, and that's a good thing. Like, they keep a lot of this consistent, and it's nice to see a familiar face. So rulebook, always got to read it, especially if you're running these games. Definitely read it. You can teach people to play it in about 5 minutes, but if you're trying to run it, you need to know. But yeah, hefty rulebook. I dig it. All right, so we're going to get into this box after we get into the rest of the box. So the rest of the box is not too terribly bad. You have your tokens, which I haven't punched out yet, so yay. That's going to be fun. And then you have your play tiles. Now you'll figure out the formations of these when you get into the missions in the rulebook. So you have your exterior zones, you have your interior zones. Those will become very important, but you know, it is what it is. Like, we know what this is. Like, each thing is one movement, so on and so forth. It's a similar game. Now, I really dig that they kept everything super concise, super simple, and really easy right out of the box. So thank you, Simon. I'm going to put this over here. And we'll go to the box within the box, the Tesseract, if you will. So here's the box within the box. Now this box is going to have all the playthings that you need. Got cards everywhere. So right off the bat, we have our little play trays and our characters that we'll be playing, their stat cards, the things that they do, you know, so on and so forth, like the important bits. Come on, Baraka, get out of there. There we go. So I like these trays. They're a pretty good improvement, and it's just a small improvement, but this little slider right here, this little slider completely circles the experience number that you're on. That way there's no confusion. There's no, it's kind of like between 4 and 5, but it's not quite 5, so just bump it a little bit. And it takes a little force to get there. But when you get there, it's not really going to go anywhere by accident. So I like that. It might wear over time, but as of right now, I like the design of it. It's a simple little thing, but I think it'll make it a lot more bearable just trying to keep track of where you're at. Because sometimes you get people over here when everyone else is right there, and that's no fun. So those are your play trays. The design is real good. You have, it's real simple. It looks like you have 2 body slots. 2 primary body slots where they changed that from the Black Plague and Green Horde. You have your hand slots, you got your backpack up here, and plenty of places to put pegs, because pegs are important. I'm going to put these trays over here. Now, got your little upgrade cards and your spawn cards. Ah! You didn't see that. So you got your experimental weapons. Like, these are the big weapons that you need. And then you got everything else. You got your stock standard weapons, so on and so forth. all the stuff that's going to be important, what you find with flashlights and what have you. You got your spawns. Yeah, I made a mess. It's okay. I'm a professional. I'm gonna keep going through it. And again, it's very familiar territory. It's got the number of the experience level as to what's going on. Like, this is gonna spawn a tank. It's gonna spawn 4 tanks if everyone's within the first tier. But if somebody's in yellow, orange, or red, then that just keeps going up, and that's no fun for anybody who's still stuck in blue. That's usually me. All right. So I'm going to try and get these cards off the floor real quick. And we'll just put them right there. Awesome. So you got your pegs, got your dice, and you got your bases that go along with the pegs. Those are color coordinated. That way you know which character's yours, so on and so forth. It's a good time. You always need dice. Now, let's get this. So the hero models are going to be your stock standard light blue to gray sort of situation. They're pretty solid plastic. I like it. They have their own trays, and this doesn't seem very confusing at all. The heroes, at least. Everything else, this could be very, very confusing because they're like little Cthulhu monsters. The plastic's real nice, but everything has its place, and it all fits in this really tiny box. You got the Abomination here. You got one big robot here, sentry gun, and your 6 inbox characters. We're gonna go ahead and lift this up over here. And then we have all the other monsters. I'm not going to bring them out, obviously. There's way too many of them. But you can see you are given quite a few of these things. And I don't, hopefully you won't run out. Hopefully you'll start, winning and killing these things before they can start activating without monsters in the box. Because if that happens, well, they get extra activations. And that's no fun for anyone, is it? So let's move on to a little bit close-up pictures of the models that I've done, and transition. All right, so the first soldier model that we're going to be dealing with is Baraka. She has 3 wounds, starts with lucky, gets to reroll a lot of things, really solid ability, really cool model. All right, so next up on our list is Jared. He's the other soldier. He's an all-American linebacker, likes to push people around, really good at that, also 3 points. Now, Magnus here is a big boy. He's the one that starts with 6 wound points. That's his ability, and he becomes a juggernaut after that. So starting off with the civilians, Mitsuki has 2 wounds as a civilian, and she controls robots. That's pretty cool, not gonna lie. Now, Cole is super useful. You can only usually search once, but he can search twice, and he can also search anywhere because he's a civilian. Really handy, really helpful. Now, Vivian's gonna round out her civilians. She gets to taunt things towards her, which is really great for crowd control and things like that. And rounding out the hero bit of the box, who doesn't love robots and sentry guns? Mitsuki gets to control these right off the bat. Now the zombies. These are your workers, your bare basic things. They're 1 wound models. They do a lot of stuff. The hunters, they have 2 actions every round, still 1 wound. Now the tanks, they're exactly what they sound like. They're big beefy boys. They take 2 wounds to kill. Really hard to deal with. Speaking of hard to deal with, here's the Abomination. 3 wounds. Nothing in the game actually does 3 wounds, but Zombicide has ways for you to get that done, so don't worry too much. Alright, so that was the unboxing of Zombicide. Now, I told you at the beginning of this video that I like Zombicide and I like Cool Mini or Not, so if you're surprised that I like this game already, I don't know what I can do for you, to be quite honest. I don't know. So, the things I do like is what I like about most Zombicide products. The quality is there. They're really good sculpts. It's solid plastic. It's not brittle, it's pretty well put together. It's a concise game that they have. They have their formula. They know what they're doing. I also like the fact that it's not just a reskin of Zombicide. There are rule differentiations, different enough to where it doesn't feel like it's just a reskin. They're not inventing the wheel, mind you. Like, don't get me wrong. It's still a Zombicide game. But the difference between civilians and the difference between soldiers, like that whole dynamic is really nice. I like that kind of forces you to look at party composition. Because soldiers, while they have more wounds, they can only search in designated areas, and civilians have less wounds, but they can search anywhere. So finding resources is really good to have a civilian, but you also need a soldier there to kind of keep them alive. Stuff like that. I also like that they are justifying the zombies with spore mold spore. What am I talking about? But they're Cthulhu zombies. I like that. I like the sculpt of that. I like the theme. I just like the game. Like, really, I don't know what to tell you. The addition of concentrated attack is really nice because there's nothing in there that does 3 damage to outright kill an abomination, except for the flamethrower and canister combination. Just obliterates a square, like an entire square. But I like that. It's a nice rule. It's a really good rule. It's high risk, high reward sort of situation. And that's all I can really say about that. I like it. I dig it. I think you should probably go get it if you are a Zombicide fan and you have friends that want to play this. Like, really. But you can always find that at Macnar Gaming. I'm pretty sure if you ask Greg real nice, he can get it special ordered for you. If not, it's already on the shelf. But yeah, thank you to Macnar Gaming for sponsoring the Never Ready Gamers. Also, thank you to Digital Break for having us, letting me show you what we do on Never Ready Gamers. And let Digital Break know that you're watching them. Like, really, support it. Now, on that note, I would greatly appreciate it if you go over to the channel at Never Ready Gamers. It's real easy, Never Ready Gamers on YouTube. Guys, I'll see you next time.